October 22nd, 2007. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 35.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
All right. Well, welcome back to Diehard Gamer Radio. I am Murdock, and with me is we have John, Angry John, and Steve. And Brian is working today. He's actually training someone else to count bread.
Really?
Yes.
He'll probably be at that for the next month or so.
You know, here's how you do it. 1, 2,
5. Wait, 3.
But it's organic bread.
Oh, so you light up some patchouli and don't shave for a couple months,
and
then
you have
you
to
count
using a Native American numbering system. It's harder than it looks.
Scarification is involved somehow.
So I just want to use this moment to mention to Brian that this is the first podcast he's missed in 34 episodes. So
congratulations.
Yeah.
Now if only you could miss one.
Well, someone has to edit it and produce it.
Well, no.
Well, yeah. All right. So let's go to our gaming news.
Diehard Gamer Radio is not required by law.
Thank God.
But it does cause low birth weight.
Yes, it causes birth defects.
And it's filmed on location with the men and women of the Miami-Dade County Police Department.
Okay, just stop that. Just stop that. All right. So first bit of news. OMG Street Fighter 4 announced probably will have suffixes to follow.
Why do we care? I mean, did they really need to make anything beyond Street Fighter 2? Could they just have been making different versions of Street Fighter 2 and it's going to be the same thing?
Since there are 19 versions of Street Fighter 2.
Exactly.
Hyper Edition, Turbo Edition, Turbo
Yes,
Hyper
exactly.
Edition, Hyper Turbo Edition.
Why is 4 necessary?
Because
is it to apologize for 3?
Hey, 3 was awesome.
Apparently the designers need a new way to show Cammy in a thong. So.
Yeah,
No,
it's
wait,
not like
huh?
it's gonna be- it's
Well,
gonna
it
be-
is announced
we've got
for next
Dojin for
generation
that.
consoles, so
great. It's
odds are good it's
720p
3D.
side-scrolling fighters. Whee!
Well, we don't know if it's 2D or 3D. We heard
3D worked really well last time.
Yes,
Because they're going to spend the budget to come out with a next-gen 2D game.
Yeah,
they might.
Capcom.
Yeah.
Yes, God, I don't even remember that now. The 3D Street Fighter games.
Oh, Street Fighter EX Alpha Plus.
Yes,
If you're
it's like
talking about
Virtua
PlayStation.
Fighter, only not.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like
No, that's what it
Virtua
was.
Fighter, except it's
The first game, it looks like they even borrowed the Virtua Fighter ring. I mean, like.
but what wasn't even that? I mean, it was just not that good of a fighting game.
No, but you remember the ring from Virtua Fighter? The original?
Yeah.
How it was like this big square in the middle of the desert or something.
that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm personally excited for it, but then again,
Well, I'm not excited because I suck at 2D. I don't know what it is. I suck at 2D fighters, and you can attest to this, Murdock. I do really good at 3D fighters.
Well, 3D fighters require slightly more button mashing, so then
Yeah, that's why I whipped your ass like 19 games in a row in Tekken 5.
well, you're playing Marshall Cheese. You were playing Law. It's
No,
like,
I
okay,
play as Jackie Chan. Remember Lee or whatever his name is?
Lay.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's no shortage of those in fighting games.
Some guy that's like Jackie Chan.
Some dude who's like Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee.
Bruce
Okay.
Lee, yeah.
All
Even
right.
down to the trademark yell.
Let's see. That's right. That's
Well,
right.
even Fei Long has that. Yeah. That.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and he died too at the end of the game. So, where's your god now?
He gets shot.
Does he? I don't remember. Okay.
Who cares?
All right. Let's.
Yeah, we're talking too much about the
Okay.
game.
So, and in addition to SF4, they announced a Lost Planet sequel, Ace Attorney Apollo Justice.
What?
And don't ask. It sounds like a porn film or sounds like a porn star.
Is this on our list somewhere?
Yeah,
Or
it's
Justice
in the
doesn't sound like a
footnotes.
porn star.
And Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo High Definition, which looks pretty
See?
much like Street Fighter.
See, Super Street Fighter HD.
Yeah, why do we need to make a new one? We can just keep doing Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, like I said, Yeah.
All right, so
Obviously, their fan base hasn't run away from long titles, so...
yeah. Next up, Contra 4 to come with cool extras. So it'll have the 20th anniversary virtual museum. It'll have screenshots, box art for every version of Contra, including the sucky 3D ones.
So by virtual museum, you mean they don't actually give you anything? They just include a lame VR gallery on the disc?
From what I
Or
understand, yes.
cartridge, because this is for the
But of
DS,
course-
right?
Yeah, this is for the DS.
The bane of our existence, Contra, Shattered Thumbs.
Yeah. However, it does have the NES versions of Contra and Super C unlockable in the game, so that's kind of cool. But
Yeah, you don't have MAME?
Well, no, unlike Nintendo, where they just sell them to you again, here they just pack them in with a new game.
yeah, or just break out the original cartridge, blow into it, and put it in your NES. So, moving on.
That sounds like the hardest of the three options.
Yeah, I think MAME is the easy one we're going for here.
Okay. So, next up, women can't get enough Wii, and men prefer PSV.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Well, okay.
Yes, because, the men prefer the PS3 to the 360, yeah.
It-
Where is
I-
this? Some backwards country like Japan?
No, this
Was this preferred P3, the PlayStation 3 over the Wii, or PS3 just in general?
in general. This is
So, of the
via
people
Kotaku.
who like PS3, it's solely uber geeks
Yeah,
that are
the Venn
pretty much
diagram's
metal.
getting pretty
Yeah.
obscure.
Oh,
Or pretty
yeah.
much men.
Because I'm folding.
So
Yes.
of the three people that bought PS3s,
They're all men.
they're all guys.
That's why my machine is superior to your 360, because I can do folding at home.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, that's why I bought a $600 gaming machine.
I guess.
what, you bought a Neo Geo? Oh, wait.
Shut up. I did buy a Neo Geo.
Well, I know. So,
As
next
a matter of fact, I seen you standing off to the side while we carried up 3 flights of stairs.
That was a
Yeah.
good choice.
Yeah,
That was a fun time taking it down too.
yeah. So, next up, Assassin's Creed is facing some problems. And they can't fit the game on an Xbox 360 DVD, and they can't get the game to work properly with the PS3 memory. I think it's a ROM issue, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, hey, they announced something really surprising is going to come out for Assassin's Creed today, so maybe the surprise is that it works.
No, they gave up and they're just porting into the Wii.
Yeah.
Wow.
They said, screw you guys, it's a PC game now.
I gotta say, that's really disappointing, because Assassin's Creed is one of my top 5 of the games coming out for this holiday season.
Well, I don't think it's going anywhere.
Actually, I think it is number 5. So.
And, can't fit it on a DVD is a problem that can be solved by hacking pieces out.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hey, what's this button for? Jumping. Oh, who needs that?
Useless.
Hey, if they get rid of the jump button, we'll be sure to know that's not a platformer.
Well, 3 gigs of the game is totally dedicated to bloom effects. Yeah, you can get rid of that.
If we're lucky, they'll take out all the cutscenes.
Or, use the in-game
most of the
graphics.
game.
from
Well, it is-
cutscenes.
you know what,
Or is it all rendered
Or,
cutscenes?
That's
it is being
probably
made
all
by
an
the people who
engine,
made
but,
Prince of Persia.
just
And
saying.
if you played Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, you don't have a stupid chick following you around who has a bow and arrow and never fucking shoots it.
Maybe they'll take out all the sci-fi part that they're not telling anybody about. They'll be like, there was never any sci-fi part to this game. It's just what you see.
Yeah. Or, they could, split it up and just do Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah, they'll do 2 different games. One will be the sci-fi version where you need to control somebody else's Assassin's Creed 1 with your Assassin's Creed 2.
They get halfway through and they'll come to the big button that says, please download level 4.
Yeah, insert disc 2.
Don't give them ideas.
That's true. You can always go multi-disc.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, how expensive can that be?
It's a CD. Or I
Well,
guess
yeah,
a
it's
DVD.
yeah.
For DVD, it costs you what,
10 cents?
Probably
that?
costs more for the case that has 2 disc holders in it than it does for the second disc.
Probably.
Yeah.
They'll just make you all download it out of Xbox Live.
Yeah. All right. So next up, TurboGrafx CD games debut on the Virtual Console with Gate of Thunder, and it is available. And the music is somewhat compressed, but it sounds pretty good.
Why?
Somewhat compressed.
Why?
Why? Because
Yeah, why?
TurboGrafx CD games are kind of cool.
No.
Somewhat compressed?
No.
Well,
I mean, is it really a challenge in this day and age to turn CD audio into something smaller?
Seriously,
Well,
I mean,
the real question is, this fit on...
of the what? The 6 good games that came out on the TurboGrafx 16?
the CD had a lot of good games.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, where's my Keith Courage and Alpha Zones, damn it?
where's my Military Madness?
I think Military Madness is out on the Virtual Console.
I remember them talking about it before.
I love that show. Or that show.
The show? Was it a kid's show?
It kind of was a show because really it was like, okay, now I moved into the same hex that you did, and I may or may not come out victorious.
And to see those little guys stand up there and shoot off into nowhere.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden some of your guys died and some of their guys died. And
Yeah, I don't think Keith Courage in Alpha Zone has been released on the...
Yeah, that was a joke, because Keith Courage and Alpha Zone sucks.
Well, hey, now that they can do...
Half the time, you die because you couldn't fucking jump.
Well,
Remember how lousy jumping was in that game?
well, true. But, hey, now that they have, CD audio, maybe they can get full CD games and we can, have Sewer Shark come out on the Virtual Console.
Yeah,
How awesome
yeah.
would that be?
Yeah, I can't wait. Line up my copy of Night Trap.
there you go.
Night.
So, do you know how big the download is for the CD games, the TurboGrafx CD
Not
games?
off the top of my head.
Because there's definitely not a lot of space on that internal memory on that thing, so they
Yeah.
got to be trying to crunch it down.
As a matter of fact,
pretty
you know what?
small.
I'll tell you what. If they put Night Trap on the Virtual Console, I will kill Miyamoto. That's right. I will kill him. Just to prove a point and go, why the fuck did you put this game on the
Well,
Virtual
it was
Console?
not Miyamoto's.
Well,
It's not up
he's
to
the
him.
face of the company.
Well, no,
He's always out there pimping the company, flashing his gang signs and everything.
What? That's Reggie Fils-Aimé.
With his rims.
No, remember
spinning.
at E3 he was flashing his Wii gang signs. He's like,
What?
Huh.
I
That
missed
would
that.
be pretty funny.
he did it. There's a picture of him going like this for Wii.
No, you do know this is radio and no one can actually see you doing whatever.
You three fuckers can see what I'm doing.
Okay. Right.
true.
Okay, so...
We're right there with you, yeah.
All right, so next up, original Wii games to come out on WiiWare. The only reason I'm mentioning this is because I'm looking forward to Star Soldier R.
And you're the only one.
Yes, because I don't know what Star Soldier R is.
I don't know.
It's a shooter.
Oh, wow. Murdock wants a
that's
shooter
different.
to come out. Yeah.
This is exciting because
They finally decided, oh, yeah, now we can do original games. And every other system's been doing it for how long now?
Yeah, so why'd they decide to jump on now for this one?
I have no idea.
Because they really want to use that virtual joystick control method with the Wiimote?
I
Because
don't
that'll
know.
give you the precision and accuracy you need for a shooter.
Well, I'm sure it won't be like that, but well, yeah. Now that I think about it, you never know. How do I throw a bomb here? Okay.
Just be glad that wasn't the only control option in Metal Slug.
Oh my God. All right. Next up, EA buys BioWare and Pandemic.
So anything that comes out after Christmas is going to suck, so just don't bother.
Yeah.
It's really a bummer, because I was looking forward to Mercenaries 3.
That's really disappointing
much
because,
anymore.
Pandemic has been one of the more inventive studios out there. I mean,
Yeah, all
They've
the
done a
all the
long
good
chain of
developers will
inventing good IP.
yeah.
All the good developers will leave, and they'll make.
I mean,
a
they
new
even
studio,
they even
yada,
did
yada.
Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2, which I really enjoyed.
That was BioWare, right?
No.
Was that
was
Pandemic?
Pandemic. Yeah. BioWare did Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Your favorite RPG of all time?
Yes. Not just my favorite RPG, my favorite Xbox game of all time.
You know what to call Mass Effect will be okay, and then everything else will.
Well, Mass Effect 2 will probably suck.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But it'll be cross-platform, and it'll
Yeah.
be out in a year.
Yeah, yeah.
Whether they want it out or not.
Well, EA is known for their yearly release schedules for franchises.
Yeah, well, EA has come out. They say they don't believe in exclusivity, so everything's going to be cross-platform now.
Which is fine if your games don't suck.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that one-a-year philosophy kind of hurts.
Yeah. Also, we don't need 15 Harry Potter games.
Well, we're gonna get them.
Except the Quidditch game, which is surprisingly fun.
Alrighty then.
Well, okay. He admitted that game was fun. Your last podcast, you mentioned that the B movie game was actually pretty good.
I still haven't played it yet, but no, it was. That's what I've been hearing is that the demo for the B movie game is worth playing. Still need to give it a try.
I download it.
Well, I don't want
Okay, I finally got it. The B movie, as in the insect.
Yes.
I thought you meant B movie, as in crappy movies with low budgets.
That would be a pretty excellent game. Unfortunately, they haven't made that one yet.
Yeah,
that could be an expansion on that movies.
Yeah, that
game.
movies game, whatever it was, like Movie Studio or Movie.
No, it's called the movies.
Oh, is it called Movies?
Yeah.
So next up,
Movie Tycoon.
Movie. Is that called Prison Tycoon?
Yeah.
Is that the same game?
I still don't know how those guys didn't get sued for that game. It totally wasn't.
Well, the game didn't make any money, and you don't sue people that don't make money. Don't have any money.
Yeah, I think that's the game that I installed and stopped playing the fastest in history.
Was this like a day?
It was like 20 minutes or something. It's all that started playing it. I said, wow, this fucking sucks.
Wow, that's like
Did you get their newsletter ad they put out that they came out with a new game?
No, I didn't.
No, that's like
didn't bother to click the link to see
every
what it was.
NES game I ever bought that had the Nintendo seal of approval on it.
Wow.
Well, no, because you remember back then Nintendo put the Nintendo seal of approval on every game.
Yep, that is true.
Well,
the seal of approval was more.
There you go, Al Unser Jr.'s Turbo Racing. You're like,
Yeah.
wow, this game fucking sucks.
Well, the seal of quality was just the seal. The seal of approval was not because the game was good. It was just it meant whatever quality standards Nintendo had.
Which meant they paid their licensing fee.
Pretty much.
Yes.
It wasn't Custer's Revenge.
Yeah. It did not make your NES blow up.
Yeah. It did not make you think
Actually,
of breasts.
Oh.
Remember, a copy of Excitebike killed my NES.
Really?
Yeah, I put it in, the screen went black, and then I took the cartridge out, and the NES never worked again.
Sweet.
Some
Words to live by, maybe.
So, never play Excitebike.
That's pretty frightening.
Okay. So,
Yeah, I'll do that.
yeah, because we've been playing Excitebike all this time.
Damn, we've been living on the edge.
Yeah.
Hey, remember, that thing had a track editor and everything. That game was ahead of its time.
Yeah, we have games now that don't have track editors. Come on. All right.
They have a level editor.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
So next up, Capcom reveals Bionic Commando for PS3, Xbox 360, and PC.
I don't really understand why people are getting so excited about this.
What are you talking about? Bionic Commando is my favorite NES game of all time.
That's great.
Because it was that fucking good.
But it's
So?
an NES game.
Who cares? It's an awesome game.
So they're going to remake it, and it's going to suck.
Well, it's
Only if I get to kill Hitler at the end.
Oh yeah, well that will be cool.
There's no reason to believe that this
Well, no,
would suck.
that was the great thing about Bionic Commando. You were fighting the Nazis, but for the American release, they changed the swastika to like this falcon thing.
Yeah, it was an eagle. They changed it to
'cause-
eagles, and they changed
'cause
the
the
Nazis
Nazis
to the
never-
bads.
The bads, yes. How could I
Because the
forget
Nazis never used eagles imagery or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they need to go back to the Japanese name of the game was the Resurrection of Hitler. I'm not making that up, but they renamed Hitler to Master D.
Well, it's good.
Yes, Master D.
It's a good thing that
And
Japan
you had to rescue
wasn't
Super
involved
Joe.
in World War II.
And Super Joe, let's not forget
Otherwise,
Super
this might
Joe,
be
the hero
awkward.
of Super Joe was the hero of the original Commando game.
It's
Yeah.
good that they were totally uninvolved in World War II.
But my note for the Bionic Commando, it better not fucking suck,
It will.
and I mean it.
It will.
I saw
It
the
will.
I saw the
It
movie
will.
for it.
Well, how are they going to do it? I mean,
Well, it's 3D. That's all I know.
it's 3D. I mean, you know what? I could almost see it being, if the guys, the way they did like the grappling arm from in Metroid Prime, if you could make an FPS that way, it could almost be pretty cool that way too.
Well, we'll see. It better not suck.
Yeah.
luck
that means
with that.
means you
Yeah.
Capcom.
It'll be really disappointing.
Good-
like I
good
said,
luck to everybody.
since the original Bionic Commando was my favorite NES game.
All right. So moving on, G4 bringing coverage of Major League Gaming tournaments.
Actually, I think the real headline here is that G4 has original programming.
So they're
We're still around?
Yeah.
But they just play cops all the time now.
yeah.
Oh, don't forget about cheaters.
Well, that and reruns of the Tokyo Gaming Show.
Yeah.
And-
Actually, no, they have one show that they They have Attack of the Show, and they have X-Play. Although X-Play now only seems to come on at 2 in the morning.
Yeah, Attack of the Show is the only one I ever see that's original.
Yeah, and Attack of the Show, well, it's tolerable to a point.
Well,
Best gaming network ever.
Yeah.
Well,
that worked out.
I mean, Olivia Munn's hot, but
yeah, they do definitely, get
maybe if she did the show
attractive
naked.
hostesses.
well, I fully support that idea. But
I don't think it's going to happen.
yeah, so on November 9th, G4 is going to be bringing coverage of 6 Major League Gaming tournaments leading up to the final tournament in Las Vegas, and it'll bring info on all the games and programmers. So if this is Major League Gaming,
Oopty shit.
they need to start like doing the P test for steroids and stuff.
And I think I can sum that up in 2 words. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the games they're going to be playing? Do we know?
I bet you there's an FPS in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Or
Maybe.
3?
Actually, if I remember, one of them is going to be a fighting game because when Major League Gaming had its draft, the first no, seriously, and they had it at the Playboy
But these
Mansion.
gamers like get these
They had it at
cards
the
in the
Playboy
mail.
Mansion too. The first player taken was a DOA 4 player,
Huh.
and I'm like, what?
Okay.
Well, I guess DOA 4 is probably one of the games then.
I guess so.
You better hope so.
And just, I mean, no
Otherwise
offense,
he-
but
Spent all that
DOA
time in
4?
his basement for nothing.
I mean, if you're the grand champion at DOA 4, that's nothing to brag about. If you're the grand champion at Virtual Fighter 5, then you can start fucking bragging because that ain't no button masher there.
Yeah. So, thank you, John, for causing fighting gamers all around the world to hate Die Hard Gamer Radio. So,
Go
Have to
fuck
listen to
yourselves.
They have to listen to us first.
true.
Yeah.
So, next up, Okami for Wii confirmed this might interest.
Nobody. Nope. You lost me.
This seems like pretty much a no-brainer.
Yep. Thanks for bringing out a game a year and a half after I already played it.
Did you buy Okami?
No.
Oh.
It just
Or
seems,
would have if you cared,
seems,
apparently.
this
Yeah,
just seems
if I
like
cared.
a no-brainer. Somebody is sitting around with their Wii in one hand and the Okami
And their Wii in the other,
Wii
yeah.
in the other hand, and said, "Hey, I bet you I could use this to draw with."
It's a platformer where you draw things.
Yeah.
Wow. What would this work well with?
Yeah.
So, next up, 40 gigabyte PS3 officially announced.
Yes, one more whoopty shit.
Actually, I'm probably going to buy this fucker in the next
Still
3 months
too
or so.
expensive.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same price as the Xbox 360 Premium was when everybody bought one. So now
Yeah,
they just
but
need
you-
a game.
Yeah, but
Actually,
you can, you
discount
can
on it.
Actually, I
yeah,
got
but the
mine at a
Xbox is
discount,
backward
so, yeah.
compatible.
I only paid, even though I bought it when it was still $3.99, I got mine for $3.49.
So,
But even so, it's definitely down to a price range where people
Because-
we know will buy it now.
Because I bought it from an independent store where I buy all my game
Yeah, great.
systems. and-
Now gamers who aren't insane might consider buying it. Still,
Yay.
you're looking at the Wii and you're looking at the PS3 and going, wow, the Wii's half the price.
yeah, but you can actually find PS3s.
Well,
You've always been able to find PS3s. Let's not forget the PS3 pyramid at Best Buy.
Well, the one where homeless people were living inside it.
the Great Wall of PS3.
It is a bummer
These
that
Mongols will never reach.
Mongols on the other side.
They
Like,
won't-
shitty wall!
It's a bummer they never paid out on that bounty.
Yeah, that was
Oh, that would have been awesome.
that was funny shit.
Uh,
All right, go to the next one.
Yes,
I don't want to
'cause-
talk about the PS3.
Yeah.
It just makes me angry every time
That
I hear
doesn't make me angry because I probably will buy one now.
it. It just
What
makes
do you-
me
what
angry
are you
every
gonna
time
I don't know what I'm
see
going to play on it. Well, I guess.
well, you know what you can do with your PS
What's the game?
Flow?
Resistance.
No, with the Resistance Fall of Man. I wouldn't mind playing that. God damn, I can't remember the other game.
Oh, Virtual Hamster? Yeah.
Yes, no. There's a game called Folklore.
Oh, yes.
I wouldn't mind playing that. Drake
Came out recently.
I have seen Drake Uncharted Fortune, and I do like what I saw there. So
Never
and then-
buy a console for a game that hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, I like to. Well, of course I'm going to buy it. I mean, my favorite video game of all time is Metal Gear Solid, and while I hated Metal Gear Solid 2 and loved Metal Gear Solid 3, I'm going to buy the PS3 for Metal Gear Solid 4.
Hey, you can see Raiden's
Wait
batch
until
in
Metal Gear Solid
1080.
4 comes out.
You have to wait till MGS4.
They'll probably do a cool bundle pack.
Yeah.
But, well, when you get your PS3, just,
You can always play Lair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every time I play it, a kitten comes out.
Hey, yeah. Hey, how come I keep crashing my dragon into the ground?
Oh.
How come the land keeps disappearing?
You think the dragon would realize I'm about to hit the fucking ground? Maybe I should turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
it's
when-
so well trained it crashes at command.
When you get your PS3, John.
That would improve the game if the dragon just flew itself.
Yeah.
When you get
You just
your
wave the
PS3,
controller
John,
and
just
effectually nothing happens.
yeah, just let us know so that we can put it out in Red Rocks or something and just play also Sprach Zarathustra.
What the fuck did you just
That's
say?
the 2001 theme. It looks
Oh,
like
fuck
a monolith.
that. No,
All right.
but once I get it, hopefully I'll already have an
don't want
HD
that
TV
one.
by then too, and you know what that means? Blu-ray discs.
Yeah, whatever.
All right.
So next up, where are we? British intelligence inserts job ads into games. So basically, the Britain Government Communications Headquarters
The
is
Britain government.
well, Britain's government is doing something. They are
Putting ads into video
Yeah.
games?
yeah, it's a month-long ad campaign at the end of October. It's run by the Government Communications Headquarters. They're trying to get gamers to, I guess, enlist.
So are they going to be disappointed when they find out instead of shooting people in the head, they read reports all day?
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry, you don't get to fuck a Bond girl. Here, read this 20-page report.
Is this MI5 or MI6 doing this?
No, it's MI12.
Oh, MI12. There's the Video Game Intelligence Bureau.
Yes.
That's kind of nerdy stuff.
Actually, there are various MIs.
There are, I know. MI5 is domestic, and it's like the FBI and the CIA. That's the difference between those two. But there are, there's a whole. There was a bunch. It was like 24 MIs, but most of them got retired after World War II because they didn't need them anymore.
And what does MI stand for? Military intelligence.
There's no such thing.
No, it stands for Impossible Mission Force. No, dun 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 dun.
No, it stands for Impossible Mission. Stay a while.
Stay forever. You just love doing that, right?
It's a pretty like arcane, obscure reference, really. I mean,
not among us.
What did that come out for? Like the Counter 64 and nothing. So,
so next,
it's like the Transformers video game that came out for the Commodore 64. Whenever you took and you transformed, it went and you drove around on like this Donkey Kong like tiered thing for some reason. And then you could once you transformed, you could fly. But
did you have to jump over
run
barrels?
Yeah. Every once in a while, like Starscream would come by, and then every once in a while, Laserbeak would show up.
So back when licensed game meant you changed the sprites on whatever you were working on now?
Yeah, wow. So
I don't think anybody ever
Wow,
played that game
we're
except
all
for me.
more bored for having listened to that.
Okay.
Not
So
as bored as I am.
next up, and this is news for Angry John. Rumor: New Skies of Arcadia in development.
Yes, Skies of Arcadia is the second greatest RPG ever made. I have shouted down Final Fantasy cosplayers with the greatness of Skies of Arcadia.
What did you shoot them down with?
So shouted them down.
Oh, shouted them down. Okay. You know, if you
Because their
spoke into the
games
mic, that
suck.
probably would help.
Except for 6 and 12.
Aggressively don't care.
I can find this totally believable because I do not think Sega is capable of making new intellectual property anymore. They probably sat down to create a new RPG and decided, what can we remake?
Well,
I fucking love Skies of Arcadia. Just, like I said, it was better than any Final Fantasy game I've ever played.
I wish Sega was still a development house that made games worth playing.
Yeah, you're right. That Yakuza game was pretty shitty.
I'm just waiting for the remake of Altered Beast.
oh, they did
They
a
already
remake.
did it.
Yeah,
it came out on the
it's-
PS2.
Yeah, they.
Rise
I
from
need
your
another
grave.
You mean the good one?
No, I mean like I need it in 3D on a
No, this
next-gen
is
platform.
3D. The Sega Ages on the PS2 has the original version and a 3D remake of it.
Yeah, it was.
And
As a matter of fact,
it sucks.
you want to know how shitty it was?
Kinda glad I
Was it
missed
just
that, I
as
guess.
good as the original?
No. Was it Screwtech.com had a top 10 shittiest sequels list, and it was like number 3 on the list. That's how bad it is.
So there you go, Steve.
Pretty glad I missed that.
Yeah. Well, there's always the 3D remake of Alien Syndrome. Oh, wait, that game sucked.
Or the 3D remake of Bionic Commando. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Doesn't suck yet.
It doesn't suck yet. We have to wait. We have to wait for the suck to ferment. It's like cheese.
I'm just... see, that would be really disappointing, though.
If it sucked?
Yeah.
Well.
Yep.
What are you going to do? So, next up.
Not buy it.
Well, there's that.
Yep.
So, next up, Nolan Bushnell says today's game's unadulterated trash and probably tells kids to stay off his lawn. So, he's basically...
Yeah, the high-quality 2600 games that were out there.
Well, he's like, well, games are they're you know they're bad now. They're
Yeah, because Yar's Revenge was the pinnacle of great video game.
well, I don't think it's the quality of games. It's just the content of games. He says
Yar's Revenge.
Yeah, video games today are a race to the bottom. They are pure unadulterated trash, and I am sad for that actual quote.
Well, him and Ebert can hang out and talk about things they don't know anything about. It'll be good fun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nolan, so you're saying Nolan Bushnell knows nothing of games, huh?
Apparently
Well,
not.
actually, yeah, because Atari's been sold how many times now?
Wow.
I need an abacus. I need something to count these up.
He had a captive market and managed to crash it anyway. I mean, how much could he know that market?
Yeah, he started the market.
Exactly. He created the market. He held the entire gaming market in the palm of his hand and managed to fuck it up anyway. That pretty much tells me he doesn't know anything about what he's talking about.
But he does know a lot about serving scalding hot pizza to little boys and girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chuck E. Cheese thing, they're still around. What's up with that?
They're only around in certain markets.
Well, there's like 3 of them here in Denver. There's like one in Littleton somewhere.
Is that one with the shooting still open?
The one with the shooting.
There was one Chuck E. Cheese where someone got like shot and killed.
Was it like employee came back and shot some people?
Because he got
like
fired from Chuck E. Cheese, huh?
Or he was crazy. I don't remember.
Or both.
Well, do you remember
Little
that
bit
Chuck E.
from
Cheese
column
where
A, little bit
that
from
guy
column
like
B.
shot like a bunch of people?
No.
Okay.
I do remember at the Chuck E. Cheese
They had those pneumatic
by us,
skee-ball guns.
a kid got not a kid, a guy got arrested because he snuck in with a party of kids and like started like he pretended to be with the party and like ate some of their food and stuff. The cops came and arrested him.
Wow.
That's right by the Aurora Mall.
That's
funny.
Was that like a Metal Gear mission? Just like sneaking in.
Did he have a box on his head when he was doing this?
It's labeled, ball. It's like
It's
balls.
labeled not snake.
Next. So next up, we have a
Number 15.
Yeah, 18,000 people attended E for All. It's not PAX. It's not E3.
It's a big dealer's room where they don't sell anything.
Yeah,
It's more people than I expected, though.
Yeah.
and it had a blackout, which was totally not expected.
Yeah. Somebody might want to explain to him, though, I mean, if you really want to entertain people, maybe, add a video room, add a gaming room, have a panel room,
Have events that don't involve looking at people's booths.
Yeah. I mean, no offense, but, I've gone to trade shows. I won't mention for what, but and I've walked around, and after about like 3 hours, you're kind of bored because it's just booths, and you're like, yeah, this is boring.
Yep.
Well, they wanted to replace E3, right? That's what E3 was, so...
It was, except it was like
More
E3
exciting.
was crazy.
Yeah. Well, also they announced shit at E3, so people there was a big.
They also got people that people cared about.
There was
and
a
didn't get
there was a
anything
big
else
deal about
for
going to E3 because you go there and they'd be like, "Hey, check this shit out," and
It would be cool.
E for All didn't have that.
Well, it didn't have the exclusivity. It's like anyone could show up to E for All. So it's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
But PAX is the same way.
I mean, it's
Yes, but PAX is about playing games,
well,
whereas this was about looking at games. And guess what? Gamers don't want to look at games; they want to play them.
I think they had playable games there, but not a lot.
Yeah, demos. And guess what? You had to stand in line just like at E3 to play it for 10
the attendance
minutes.
was not high enough for people to stand in line for very long.
Still, I don't want to have to stand in line for 20 minutes, okay? If I'd rather just go to a convention where there's like a bunch of laptops or PCs or consoles set up and people can fucking play, like at PAX.
Or like at your local Target.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yes, because that's why I go to Target.
I was thinking, you know what I want to do? I want to go to Target and play that PS3 and have the guy who's behind the camera counter watching me the whole time.
Yeah.
Make sure that I somehow don't manage to steal that PS3 from that console.
Or just break it.
Yeah.
Well,
And they'll still kick you off after 20 minutes.
well,
And
true.
also, I've gone to several Targets and Walmarts in the past week or so. How come all their DS displays have that really fucked up stylus? The one with the plastic tip.
It could be because 50 billion people are playing it.
Yeah, I know, but it's got that. You could scratch up the screen with that fucking thing.
Well,
Matter of fact, most of them were scratched up.
well, I can't imagine why. You give.
There's people me walk by them with like scalpels and just jamming as well.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So next up,
Yeah, do something else.
Castlevania creator confirms another DS title in the works is probably just
Shocker.
relevant to me.
Yes.
Another sequel to a popular franchise?
Yeah, how shocking!
Unspeakable.
Oh wow!
Unspeakable.
Do you have to fight Dracula at the end of this one?
Yeah, there might be
man.
bats.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or you
and
could mix it
mummies.
up and
And
have you
perhaps
fight
whips.
Wolfman.
yes, and you may have a whip, and you may have to hit candles with that whip.
Could you possibly be more of a whore for a franchise?
Yeah, and I know that you say
No.
Symphony of Night is, if not your favorite, one of your all-time favorite video games.
It's top 10.
Last time you said top 5, so.
Well, I'm reworking my top 10. I'm working on it.
That's what he spends most of his time at work doing.
Yes.
But it was brilliant. It doubled the length of the game by letting you play through it again with the level upside down.
Hey.
They just stole that from Legend of Zelda.
Well, there was an upside down level on Legend of Zelda, but
No, but they
same
rearranged
concept.
shit.
Yeah, light, dark world, past, future, whatever.
Yeah.
So next up, holiday system price cuts for us and Japan, and what is it? 40 gigabyte PS3 is how much now? What's the price?
$399.
Yeah, coming down to $400.
And then what's the arcade Xbox 360 now?
I think that one was coming down to $279, but it's a significantly better set of pack-ins than the core system had. It comes with a wireless controller, for instance.
Still no hard drive, but
Still no hard drive, but
Although-
it does come with the new
although
half
if
gig
you
memory
need a hard
card.
drive now, there is starting to become I don't want to say a run on them, but you are starting to see used hard drives show up in the game stores when people are trading them in when they buy the 120 gig.
Well, and the half gig memory card is actually big enough to be at the point where if you're only playing one game at a time, you can probably fit everything you need for that one game on there.
And let's see, 80 gigabyte model is going down to $499 for the PS3, but isn't the 80 being phased out to the 60 or whatever?
No,
or
the 60 is being phased out.
Yeah,
Who
who knows what Sony's going to do?
Every week they got some new
Now,
freaking
I will
plan
say
that's gonna-
something to any Sony fanboy who listens to is crying about the backwards compatibility.
Well, we're getting to that.
And I would say, go fuck yourselves, okay? See, I don't need backwards
Okay,
compatibility.
well, John, we've got something on that.
This is
later.
actually pretty funny, too.
So, next up, we have the Library of Congress wants video games. So apparently they consider
Are they
video.
having a hard time finding them?
No,
There seems to be a few available.
Well,
Yeah, Barbie Horse Adventure, man.
Well-
At any GameStop.
Well, according to the Library of Congress, video games are just as important to our historical past as literature, movies, and music. Suck it, Ebert.
That can't be true because there's judges that have declared that video games are not art.
Well, yeah, okay. You win this round, Steve.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, well, that's true. So, the Library of Congress is teaming up with major universities across the country to begin a 2-year initiative with the sole intent of figuring out how institutions can preserve video games for years to come.
You buy them from people and put them in someplace dry and not humid. Is this really something that needs
No,
to be
no,
figured
no.
out?
You have to transfer the game onto stone,
Sanskrit?
possibly.
It would
That
be an
wasn't funny.
interesting challenge to try and figure out how
You
to
failed.
preserve the actual console to be able to play them in the future.
Yeah, that wasn't funny, Murdock. You lost me there.
You just
Sorry.
have to, I don't know.
On Stone?
use
Come
mail.
on, man.
Emulators are probably a really good
That's-
archival medium.
That's the answer, really. Some needs these just send them a link to MAME, and then they're done.
Yeah.
Well, that would be pretty nifty if you could go to the Library of Congress and check out 1942.
Yes. well, it's historically accurate, didn't you know? Although there are some games on MAME that are not historically significant. Ninja Clown being one of them.
UN Squadron. UN Squadron's historically significant, right?
How so?
I don't know.
It's one of the very first times that you get a port of an anime series to the U.S. that
Doesn't
is renamed for some unknown reason.
And not only does it not suck, that thing fucking rules. I have to say, my favorite side-scrolling shooter of all time.
I don't know. It's like one of those things where like they ported a game that nobody had any idea what the franchise was about. You're like, oh, okay. And years later, you're like,
Area 88.
Area 88 and Golgol 13? Oh, okay. That's
well,
the one I would have
13
gone
was
with.
called Golgol 13.
I know, but why the hell did they bother porting it? Nobody had fucking heard of Golgol 13 at the time.
Moffat Conspiracy and what was the other one?
It was a top secret episode.
Oh, that's right. Top secret episode.
But
that was a hard game.
It was. Especially the parts when you had to like snipe the fucking Apache or something.
Yeah. So next up, Guitar Hero 3 demo due tomorrow for Xbox Live. This would interest Steve.
No, it wouldn't because I don't have a guitar to use it with.
Really?
What happened to your
you
guitar?
only have
I have it for the PS2.
Well, never mind.
I
then.
aggressively don't care at this point.
But are you buying Guitar Hero for the Xbox?
Probably not. It'll probably be very much a Rock Band Christmas.
Although, aren't they going to do a PS2 version of Guitar Hero 3?
But
Probably.
They are, but you
Without
can't play
it,
the demo.
You can't rock like a hurricane.
Yeah, I'm going to miss that.
Or,
I think I got out just at the right time when they're starting to do Scorpion songs.
Here I am, rock you like a hurricane.
I don't know. I just never got the thing with the Scorpions. I thought they always were kind of like a plodding German rock band. It was like they were goose-stepping with guitars. Like, well, I want to watch this for more.
But come on, you can whistle along to Wind of Change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, John, you should probably get near the mic so we can hear you.
How about you eat a dick?
Well, I'm sure that's a game coming out on the Wii.
Week.
It's one of the mini games in the Wario in the Wario game for the Wii. So, yeah.
Using its unique gesture system.
Donkey Punch.
Special included accessories.
I don't think I want to play this game anymore.
All right, moving on.
All right. So, next up, we have our game topics.
Hey, there's more news, fool.
No, that was it.
No, there's not.
Well, there's news that you didn't feel free to type up that I'm going to mention.
Okay, we'll mention it.
All right. BioWare has just announced that the MMO they're working on takes place in the Knights of the Old Republic universe.
It's too bad they got bought
That
by EA.
is so fucking awesome beyond words that if I could, I would piss on every World of Warcraft copy right now.
That's awesome and everything, except for the fact they got bought by EA.
Who cares? They're still BioWare.
And they have such an excellent track record of massively multiplayer online games.
I don't care. It takes place in the same universe as KOTOR. You're talking to a man who camped out for all 3 Star Wars prequels.
Have fun killing womp rats.
Yeah. Being bonked ahead by big things.
Okay, what instance are you playing now, John? What's called? Please think of the younglings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on. Our first game topic. EA is spouting more bullshit, but we're going to talk about if an open gaming platform is a good idea or a bad idea.
I don't even know what that means.
Well, EA basically said, we're tired of developing for multiple consoles. We only want to develop for one.
Oh.
To which my answer is, no, it doesn't work because we've already got that. It's the PC. Or alternately, no, it doesn't work. We already tried that. It was the 3DO.
Yeah.
That is right.
Yeah, we already have that. It's called the PC. Deal with it.
Not forget.
No, what about all the games on the Mac? Oh, wait.
The 3DO invented by Trip Hawkins, the founder of EA. So.
No, that's not true. It was deleted from Wikipedia.
So open gaming platform. So what do you need for an open gaming platform? Lots of open standards, right? For data access and graphics. And oh, wait, we've got that. It's called the PC.
And, because it also has to be upgradable so it isn't obsolete.
Oh, wait, we've got the PC. So what is the one platform that nobody's really developing for on the, main, huge, big budget scale? Oh, right, the PC.
PC gamers are dicks.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
But,
No, it's not that. No, just whenever there's always...
Like all those, well-behaved, Halo 3 players
It's
that I
not
keep hearing
that.
about.
Whenever I'm in any fucking video game forum, always one PC gamer has to come in and act all fucking superior. You know what? Shove your PC up your ass.
So I think this is just EA. It's like, we don't want to spend the money. Let's be cheap.
Well, yeah, would it be great if there was one ultimate system that did everything that everybody wanted and you only had to develop for once? Yeah, probably. It's going to happen? No, so quit whining and stop ruining subsidiaries.
Phantom!
Yeah,
The Phantom.
The Phantom, that'll save them.
The one true gaming platform.
Yeah.
One platform to rule them all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Although it would be pretty hilarious to have EA try and make a console again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know how that works out.
Maybe they could team up with Nokia.
Yeah. And Atari.
Yeah, you have to remove the hard drive before you can insert the game. Is that how it's going to work?
Yes.
Actually, that's probably more likely than I think.
That was the battery pack, not the hard drive.
Well, the same concept. They'll remove. You got to remove something in order to put something in.
There's unscrewing required in order to get games out.
I hope you have an Allen wrench. You're going to need about 3 of them.
Yeah.
Different sizes.
If you do not have an Allen wrench, please buy the EA branded Allen wrenches.
Yeah.
The EA proprietary Allen wrench.
Yes. They're made in the shape of half moons.
It'd be an upgrade from the Nintendo Star Drive bits. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Or what those? That was the 3-bladed ones, wasn't it?
No, that was the 3-bladed one was SNK. The other one was the 3/4 inch. It's like an inverted something or other. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head for the SNES. They had to be special.
You really had to wonder. Gee, I wonder why SNK went out of business. Was it because they were paying attention to stupid shit like proprietary screws?
Well, yeah. Proprietary. Well, yeah.
Or maybe it's because their home console had $400 games.
Yes.
Well,
something like that.
Well, what was it? What was it like? What was the max on that? It was like 7. It's like 700. It was like close to 800 megabytes for a cartridge.
Megabits.
Megabits by the end of its lifespan.
Yeah. So it's like, great. So 1 megabyte games. Go on paying $400 for this. It really bothers me, that whole open gaming platform. So
Why?
the open and OpenGL didn't really tip you off.
Well, OpenGL was a great success. Oh, wait.
No, OpenGL is great except for the fact that there's DirectX. Oh, wait.
Do they even do anything in OpenGL anymore?
Yes.
Quite a bit.
As a matter of fact, pretty much most of the stuff that you can do in DirectX, you can do in OpenGL. And you don't have to pay licensing fees to Microsoft to do it.
You don't need to pay licensing fees for DirectX either. It's just it's only supported in Microsoft platforms.
Yeah.
But if you want to do 3D that runs on something that's not a Microsoft platform, it's OpenGL.
Yep.
So for those people who use a Mac for gaming...
No, use anything, really.
Or use professional 3D applications, or use Unix workstations, or I wouldn't be surprised to find out that the PS3 has an OpenGL pipeline.
Yeah. Well, and,
Yep.
the only reason people aren't using OpenGL is because they're lazy.
Why does laziness come...
Well,
why is that a factor? Is that it's just hard to program for, or what?
Moving the driver support along for DirectX faster than OpenGL did, so it was possible to get to the new features faster.
And they have more money.
And also because they made it the standard for developing for the 360 didn't hurt either.
Well, they kind of had overtaken OpenGL a long time before that anyway, so... I do fondly remember being able to select between DirectX and OpenGL.
I remember being able to select, was it Voodoo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
even more proprietary. Yeah. Yay.
I love having to have an extra video card for my video card.
Even better when you could put two of them together.
Yeah. So how many pass-throughs did I have to do? Whoops, I've hooked it up backwards.
But I still remember MechWarrior 2.
Which version?
Voodoo 1.
Wow.
There were about 17 versions of MechWarrior 2.
Well, yeah, but the first one they came out with is what they did, the 2 expansion packs, I think. There was Ghost Bear's Legacy.
There was the original yellow one, and the red expansion, and the blue expansion.
Yeah. I loved them all.
They were pretty cool because it was the first time you could actually like shoot the leg off a mech and it would fall over.
What?
That's pretty cool.
MechWarrior.
Got to do completely customized mech layouts.
Yeah.
And the cockpits on the mechs when you were running with the Voodoo were shiny. It was pretty incredible.
All on a Voodoo 1, huh?
Hey, the Voodoo 1 was pretty amazing when it came out.
Yeah.
Looked a hell of a lot better than the PlayStation 1.
Well, I was cool, man. I had the Voodoo 3, man.
Shut up.
What are we talking about here?
We're going to our next news bit.
Oh, the one where the moral of the story is if you want backwards compatibility, just keep your PS2.
Yes, we're talking about...
if you're worried about having too many game systems, it's time to buy a system selector.
Yeah. So someone at Sony basically said, we're going to get more PS3 game sales if we remove the backward compatibility.
The reason for removing the backwards compatibility actually wasn't to cut costs. It was to try and increase PS3 game sales. Like that, when it's like, well, let's see. How about we make the PS3 games better than the PS2 games so people buy those instead? Apparently that plan didn't work out.
Well, why would it?
Or, just making games
Why
in
would you
general.
go that way?
And you know what? I look around here and all 4 of us still have our PS2s.
How many of us have PS3s?
But when I get a PS3, I'm not going to get rid of my PS2.
Well, I don't understand the point of getting rid of a game system that's got like a whole jillion games for it.
Yeah.
That costs like $2 now.
And not only that, if you still have PS1 games, it's 100% backwards compatible for the PS1.
Yeah.
So you can play PS1 and PS2 games on the PS2, and then play PS3 games on your PS3.
Yeah.
And PS1 games. Because that actually works for the backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I just don't really...
I don't really care because the fact is...
Except if it did have backwards compatibility, you could trade in your PS2 and get it for, what, $350?
When I think about all the games I missed that came out on the Xbox, most of them, it doesn't really matter. If there was a big title out there, I played it. If there was a title out there that got a lot of good buzz, I played most of them. Yeah, there were a couple I missed, but you know what? Big fucking deal. There was a couple games I didn't play. My life, will go on. So you know what? I mean, I don't really need backwards compatibility because the only things I missed out there were like the cult titles that like a lot of people didn't know about.
I don't know. I just find this is another fun one to chalk up as Sony execs should not be allowed to talk to the press.
Yeah, there is that. Though I steadfastly maintain that it's a big non-issue.
Yeah, and the Xbox is like, okay, well, people got rid of their Xbox. It's like, wait, not all games are backward compatible. Why are you getting rid of it?
I got rid of mine.
Mine's still sitting collecting dust.
Nope, I got rid of mine. But then again,
the 360 had games people wanted to play too.
But then again, I got $50 for it.
So.
Oh, and if you got rid of your PS2, guess what?
I don't know.
They're $80 now.
I don't remember seeing them on the list, but I wouldn't have looked.
If backwards compatibility is that important to you, drop the $80 and go to GameStop.
Or, well, if you're going to spend $80 more, you could just spend $100 more and get the backwards compatible PS3 model.
Yeah.
Like I said, if it matters to you, either way, who gives a fuck?
I mean, is there any logic to this Sony reps thing where he's like, well, if we get rid of it, we'll sell more? I'm like,
well, it's flawed logic, but I suppose it's logic of the sort.
I mean, I'm assuming gamers actually kind of sort of care if it's backward compatible or not.
Well, when it got posted to ours, there was a bunch of people going blah 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 blah
well,
blah.
No, we're gamers. We're as Mark Echo said, we're bigger prima donnas than like fashion people because when we can't get what we want, we bitch and moan about it to no end. And I think that's the thing. Most people really don't care about it, but when it's taken away, we feel free to bitch and moan about it. We don't care that whether or not we're going to use it or not.
Well,
it's like, give us our backwards compatibility, you fuckers.
The PS3 fanboys were going crazy over it since the beginning.
Well, the PS3 fanboys are still crying about Halo. By the way, there's more news. Did you see Halo sold 3.3 million copies in the month of September?
It was kind of fun seeing the sales numbers for it basically cannibalizing all the other 360 game sales.
And did you see the sales numbers for the game that came in second?
No.
Okay, so 3.3 million. It was like 1, Halo 3, 3.3 million. There was like 2, We Play. And then it was like 125,000 units. And I was like, damn.
There's also something worth mentioning that nobody else was dumb enough to release anything against Halo 3.
Yeah, that probably wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, even Rockstar, they say that they needed time to work, and they did to fine tune, but they could have put out a glitchy GTA 4.
It just doesn't make sense.
That they could have patched later. But yes.
It's like releasing against Star Wars. Not a good idea.
And, well, even for those two games where they're both huge titles, they'd still cannibalize each other. There'd be people picking one or the other.
Well,
and they really want people to buy
I can buy
both.
2 at release price, or I can buy 1 at release price because I can only play 1 at a time.
Yep.
No, we need you to play like 3 games all at once, Steve.
All right.
So
I played 2 at once. I was playing a game on my GBA, and I was playing a game on my PS1.
That must have been a great PS1 game. Yeah. Totally captivating.
No, it was a PS1 game on my PS2. That was Final Fantasy. That's right. It wasn't very captivating because, it's all...
Cast Knights of the Round. Go on.
No, the first Final Fantasy.
Oh, that's a chore.
No, because I have it on a disc called Final Fantasy Origins. It has Final Fantasy 1 and 2 on it for the PS1.
So next up...
back before RPGs had stories.
Yes.
It's Dragon War. You walk back and forth and
I
back
was playing a
and forth and back and
Pokemon
forth.
game on my GBA.
So,
I catch them all, man.
Movie review? Do you want to do one, or do you have one, or...
No.
It better not be Transformers.
That's not a video game. Kind of important.
No, I can
that
do
it be a video
what
game.
I can do. We talked about this. If you want, I can talk about the Devil May Cry anime series, which is pretty cool. All right, so it's only 12 episodes long. Actually, at this year's NDK, met both the director and the character designer as they were our guests of honor. The character designer, Abe, seemed like a pretty cool dude. The director, bit of a freak, walked around with a surgical mask half the time. Seriously,
he doesn't want to get SARS.
Wait, huh? You're doing it
supposedly
wrong.
he had the flu and he didn't want to pass it on to other people.
Right. He didn't want to get
that's
the
what he
white
said,
people
but
disease.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But anyway, Dante, very
Girly?
carefree. No, he's got a very deep voice, and he's very, but he's got this very carefree attitude. Like, there's one episode where this lady walks in and says, "Is this a Devil May Cry agency?" And he's like, "Yeah." She's like, "Can you take this case?" And he's like, "No." She's like, "Why?" And I says, "I don't feel like doing anything today." So he's got this very carefree attitude. Unfortunately, he's saddled with this really annoying sidekick. Her name is Patty. She's 12 years old.
I see where this is going.
She always cleans the place for him. But then again, there's also Dante there in another episode. She's like, "Stop throwing your crap all over the floor." He's like, "Why? It's always cleaned up the next day." She's like, "Yeah, that's because I clean up." He's like, "Really?"
And he's fighting what now?
Demons. But they're not called demons. They're all devils. They never fight demons. They fight devils.
So how cliched is it?
Pretty. Almost every episode is standalone. There's a kind of a bit of story arc in the back there, but nothing.
But mainly a battle an episode.
Yeah, it's a different monster every episode until like the final 3 episodes, and then he fights this
bigger monster.
Yes, exactly. And he always wins whenever he shows up. I mean, there's one scene where there's a devil that's like the size of like fucking King Kong, and he goes to smash Dante, and Dante basically like holds up his sword and like blocks the devil's its giant fist from smashing down on him.
Really?
Yeah, he's never in any danger until, I don't want to spoil anything, but like the second to last episode, it looks like he's actually going to lose the battle.
And then they have a cliffhanger, and then usually the last
and then they have a
episode.
cliffhanger, and then he comes back and he's all heroic and stuff.
Sounds pretty standard for a
like
short
I said,
series
yeah,
based on a franchise.
It's fun. If you're a fan, you'll really enjoy it. Plus, like I said, actually, it was the character of Dante that really made the series watchable. Just his attitude, because he's a total badass, but he's a badass who doesn't care.
So now I know that was one of the video game to anime things you watched, and the other one was Blue Dragon, which I think it was you had said that it was kind of suck-worthy.
Oh, it totally sucks. I'm not going to talk about it. That's how much it sucks. Yeah. It's not suck in a fun way to where I can make fun of it.
Stop
just
trying to
suck
pad
in
the
an annoying
episode.
way. There, where I won't want to talk about it because they don't remind me how annoyed I was watching it.
Okay.
The other one I think that happened in recent memory was the Disgaea animated series.
Yes, there was a Disgaea one. I actually showed the first 2 episodes at a convention where I ran the anime room. And I don't remember much about the anime because it was, actually the subtitling font was purple.
That's good.
Excellent.
To the fan
Obviously
subgroup who did that, you suck.
Obviously, a very experienced fan subgroup.
Well, what was it in block letter? Or
No,
something?
it was like italics and then purple font. And I was like, what the fuck?
It's been like 25 years. People can figure out what fonts you're supposed to use for subtitling.
Yes. Don't use italics.
Yellow with the black
and don't use
outline.
purple.
Yeah.
It's pretty standard.
Yeah, Arial
Find one
white
that's
is
good.
good.
Yeah, use just white, no outlines. That works well.
No.
I always like that when they burn that in on some of the old Hong Kong movies.
Yeah,
they have a white wall pop up on the background, and all of a sudden you can't read shit.
Or you had those in kung fu movies where everybody's wearing white, and so they're standing in the front of the subtitles, and you have no idea what's going on.
Also quality.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they also forgot to outline the font.
Yeah.
All you need was a little black.
Yeah.
This cannot be hard to do.
Too much.
Hey,
listen, I've got some of those ones where they were in widescreen and they didn't bother pan and scanning with any sort of effort. They just basically put it in the center of the screen and went to lunch. And so there's actually scenes where there's people on either side of the camera who are not on camera talking to each other.
Hey, don't forget, you've also got a kung fu movie dubbed in English with French and Arabic subtitles.
Yes.
All burned in at the same time?
Yep.
Quality.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Wow.
And they're overscanned. And they're overscanned, so sometimes you miss the end of the beginning.
You eat bowl do this? Or?
Yeah. I got some quality stuff, let me tell you. That's what happens when you buy kung fu movies for $1.
At Media Play when they're going out of business.
Yeah.
So next up we have 1-minute game reviews, and I'm going to do Trauma Center Under the Knife for the Nintendo DS. And basically you are a surgeon.
Duh.
And duh. And apparently you are a surgeon from the future, because apparently there's some
is now.
Yeah, there's some drugs and some
from
stuff,
space,
and some stuff that you have special tools and stuff to use. But basically,
I'm not sure it was particularly from the future. I think it was just
hey,
this makes for good.
It's like a
anything,
sci-fi.
the operation kind of
anything where I get to say the future or from space.
Yeah,
okay,
but basically, use a stylus to do all sorts of surgical tasks. And I will say this: the game is fucking hard. It is
apparently it's not
really
that hard
really
if you
hard.
Just use 2 styluses.
It's supposed to be easier. I don't know. I've never tried that. Have you? I don't know if you.
Are you talking about the Wii version? Because he just said styluses.
No, it's on the DS.
Oh, okay.
It's also on the Wii.
But but if you have there's some things you can do really fast. Just you put down one stylus and then you put down the other one at the same time as you pick up the other one, and it jumps across to the.
Because the DS touchscreen can only register a single touch point, so if you have 2 things down, it registers as the midpoint between them. And I think stitching is one of those things that you can do really quickly with 2 styluses.
Yeah, there's ways to cheat apparently.
Yeah. So in the end, the game was, I think when I bought it was $29.
Or I think it was I think what with that is actually the way it works is that it registers the first one and it doesn't register the second one until you pick up the second one, or you pick up the first one and then it registers the second one. So it's like an instantaneous jump.
Around.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty handy for some things.
Yeah.
So
I don't have a DS. I don't know. I just remember reading it.
I'll have to play around with that.
I plan on picking up a DS hopefully in the next week or 3. depending on what my paycheck
That's
looks like
vaguely
next week.
specific.
Yep.
So in the end, I'm saying game's probably worth $20. It's too hard though, man. That game's hard. I like hard games, but the learning curve on that one is real. It's very unforgiving.
So
It's definitely a different kind of game too.
Oh,
Yeah,
please.
it's
It's Operation. Don't set off the buzzer.
Well, yes, but there haven't been a lot of console versions of Operation.
yeah. Life and Death was
Well, there was Emergency Room. Remember when IBM was making games?
yeah. What did that run on? Was that just OS2?
No, that was a Windows game, but the IBM was they had a games division for a while, and they put out like 3 games, and one of them was Emergency Room.
I forgot about that. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah.
That was like 1992.
Thanks for that
or
blast from, well, we didn't
1994, 1995, something like that.
I get to play a bit of the Wii version of that one. I think it's actually harder than it would be with the stylus.
I played it too for about like 2 seconds. I was trying to stitch something up, and I was like, well, here, let me stitch up his eyes, see what happens. And the game was like, no, you
Probably
can't do
didn't
that.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, you shouldn't do that. I was
He's
like,
not dead yet. Wait till he's dead.
Yeah.
Good thing that you don't have to use the Wii remote to give a sample for the sperm
All right,
bank.
stop calling it the Wii remote. Okay, you give Nintendo credence. They want to call everything else Wii this, Wii that, so it's Wiimote, because it makes them sound lamer, which they are.
Though it was kind of disappointing for the Wii port that they didn't do anything to really improve the graphics for it. They still use the same talking heads that they did for the DS version.
You're all right. That's totally pathetic. I saw that.
So, do you have anything to review, John?
Well, I've actually been playing ancient adventure games lately.
Ancient adventure games. Are we
Like
talking
One in
Zero
particular,
Online,
one in particular is called Beneath a Steel Sky.
Oh, wow, that
from,
is ancient.
Revolution Software.
That sounds like an anime series, Beneath the Steel Sky.
It's kind of a future dystopia kind of thing.
So it is an anime series.
Actually, I think it was long when it was a short story by somebody. I think.
Well, Japan is
I kind of like that
future
title.
dystopia.
Next time I write something, I'll steal that title.
Well, who was it made by? Broderbund?
Revolution Studios, who went on to do, I think, Flight of the Amazon Queen and Broken Sword are their more recent
And
ones.
Geely.
And Geely, yes.
Well, no, the movie studio that released it was called Revolution Studios. So.
But been using Scum to play them, which, basically MAME for adventure games. It works great. Lets you play all this stuff. Be a little tricky getting all the ROMs and such together, especially if you're pirating it at all. But it works well. Can play it on my phone, which is actually pretty cool. I understand there's a DS port of it as well, which also seems like a good idea. It's a fun bit of software. Lets you relive some of those old adventure games, or if you never played them, play some you missed.
I find
But
that
that
when I
means
replay
Up
those,
next, King's Quest.
Actually, it doesn't support the King's Quest games.
I quickly
That's
lose
crappy.
patience.
You
Mainly
can't eat
it's-
the pebble?
It's they started with LucasArts as their primary focus, so they did all
No,
of
just
those
I remember.
first.
It was
You mean like Day of the Tentacle, Full Throttle type stuff?
Yep.
I just remember the one time I tried to play King's Quest. You are standing on a lakeshore surrounded by pebbles. Eat the pebble. You can't do that. Eat the pebble.
You can't do that.
Yes.
You can't grab Ye Flask.
Yeah.
And search in the boat for the key.
And searching the boat for the bride.
Yeah,
Bridal,
and if you
the
forget
bridal,
forget that one part in
That was
Hitchhiker's
the
Guide
most
to the
ridiculous
Galaxy.
thing ever. They just put that there so that you could actually not win the sweepstakes prize that they were giving away for winning that thing first.
What?
For Perils of Rosella, they had like a prize. Whoever won it first and could show that they won it first, they got like some ridiculous amount of money.
I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about. So.
But it's King's Quest 4.
Right,
And
but I don't remember them doing a sweepstakes.
Yeah, they did. But then there was a thing where you got out to an island and you had to get a bridal on the island. And it was in a boat, but if you weren't standing directly on top of like the one pixel that had it, you couldn't pick it up and you couldn't see it because the side of the boat was covering it. It's ridiculous. It took people some weeks to get in the right place to pick up that thing.
Oh, by the way, have you guys finally seen the World of Warcraft Toyota commercial?
No.
Nope.
It's all over TV now. I saw it like 15 times
Well,
last week.
a lot of us aren't watching television.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, neither am I.
What shows do they put it up with?
Just everything. Let's see. What did I watch? I watched. No, I just.
New age hipster doofus
no, Dirty Sexy Money.
demographic, I guess.
They had it on Dirty. They had it on Heroes. Just whenever I go back and finally watch these shows on my DVR.
Kind of interested as to why they're doing this whole marketing blitz for World of Warcraft.
Just,
Has
yeah,
their
once again,
subscription stuff like flattened, or
Four Wheels of Fury? Oh, and then of course I forgot the best line in the commercial after he kills the dragon, and he's driving along with his Toyota Tundra with the dragon's heart actually in the bed of the truck, and he says to the other World of Warcraft players, he's like, "Did you see me lay down the law? I am the lawgiver."
It's the stupidest thing ever. Again, you mentioned this the last time you were here.
Yes, but
You're
I
doing a
didn't mention
movie
that
review
line.
next time, so we don't have to hear about the commercial.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was
Oh, and by the way,
I'm
just
really curious why they're.
It's on YouTube if you really want to see it.
I'm more curious as to why they're doing commercials. I mean,
Yeah.
Murdock's 5-second movie review. Transformers sucks. Thank you.
maybe it's because their little
Transformers does
expansion
not suck.
isn't due out till like spring of 2008, and they probably won't meet that release date.
You want to talk about a movie that
Perhaps.
sucks? We'll talk Superman Returns, because that movie sucked.
Or maybe
Yeah,
at this
it's really
point they're
disappointing.
just trying to, find another 5 million
Saw it on
people
HBO the
somewhere
other
that
night.
haven't heard of it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seems hard.
Well, what was it? There's more.
Are
What was
we
the
gonna do
statistic that there was?
Are we
there's
going to do
more
a
people-
video
there's
game
more people
round
in the-
table?
I
More
think
people
we're in it now.
actually play
Okay.
World of Warcraft in the U.S. than there are farmers in the U.S.
Yes. Actually, that stat was on FARC today.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty
except-
hilarious when there's more gold farmers than actual
Yeah.
farmers.
But the headline read
They all
yeah,
get better subsidies than
better tax subsidies. Yes. Unless
It's just kind of. I'm wondering what. World of Warcraft isn't going to have a new expansion out until I'm saying summer 2008 sometime, and Warhammer is supposed to be coming out sometime spring summer of next year too.
Warhammer, what, 90,000?
No, just the old Warhammer.
Well, don't forget, a lot of the Blizzard fanboys will drop off of World of Warcraft sometime next year to, play StarCraft 2 for several months too. So.
Well, yeah,
That's
but they all
assuming
be
that StarCraft
Koreans.
2 comes out at that time. I mean,
Well,
this
it's
is
still
Blizzard
sitting,
we're talking
it's
about.
still sitting on a tentative release date of fall 2008.
Okay,
So
release dates for Blizzard, pointless.
Yeah.
They release the game
They
when it's
kinda-
ready, and it's just like, you know what?
I
Just
don't know. I think that the people playing StarCraft are going to be the people who are already playing StarCraft because it doesn't
Who
sound
have
like
never
they're changing
stopped.
it.
yeah, you're right about that.
yeah,
It really sounds like
StarCraft
they're
2
doing
will have
StarCraft
Korean as the
again.
default language.
Yeah, they might as well.
Yeah, no, and you're right. No, it's StarCraft 2 is StarCraft with better graphics and
Yeah.
just some more stuff added.
Well,
But-
that's their target audience.
but
for
there's
StarCraft
there's
is,
nothing from what I saw. It didn't look very groundbreaking compared to the first StarCraft.
Well, it's guaranteed to make a whole $1 billion.
It's not like Blizzard has to try anymore. I mean,
No,
every
they
month they're making more money off World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Well, then give us Diablo 3.
Yeah, no kidding.
Why bother putting money into developing a new game when you've got this monthly income stream that's huge?
Yeah. Until it starts, at some point in time, starts going down.
So
I mean, you don't have to beat WoW in one fell swoop. You just have to make sure WoW keeps doing what it does, and then at some point people are going to get bored.
No, WoW is but seriously, there are people I know who aren't gamers, and they came up to me and they heard me talking about like Halo and Rainbow Six Vegas and stuff like that. They're like, "Do you play WoW?" And I was like, "No." And these people aren't even gamers. They want to talk to me about WoW, which was quite frightening, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's their deal. They want WoW to be the MMO that non-gamers play.
Which it apparently is.
It very much is. They've got something like 9 million active subscribers.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
And Steve, do you ever
that's
review?
worldwide, though. That's not North America. That's worldwide.
Well, that's
I wonder
still
what
an
the North
impressive
American
number.
No,
numbers are.
that is a seriously impressive number. Consider that there are like 11.8 million Xbox 360 sold, and only about 7 million of those people have live gold accounts, and only about 4 million of them are active. So
yeah.
So, Steve,
I know a percentage of those people forgot that they're subscribed to WoW, however.
yeah.
That's the best income stream they can get.
Yeah, it is. It's free money.
Steve, any reviews for us? Because I'm sure you've been playing lots of games,
No.
but I'm sure you will be doing a review of Rock Band.
Well, eventually.
hey, remember, I get to sing lead vocals on The Who.
Won't get fooled again.
No, actually, Bob O'Reilly.
Oh.
I could do We Don't Get Fooled again.
Who's going to be in your band, Steve?
People who
Pete
rock.
Townsend.
What?
Pete Townsend.
Not the band in your imagination. I'm talking about the band that you want for your rock band, because you need to get 3 other idiots to join you in the game. You don't?
No need.
Nope, you can go online and meet 3 idiots on Xbox Live.
Or just pick the instrument you want to play and play the game solo.
Yes.
So you can go on Xbox Live with your camera and watch people showing you their hairy balls while playing the guitar.
Awesome.
Actually, nobody shows their hairy balls because the few people who tried that got reported by the people they showed them to, and their accounts were suspended rather quickly.
Maybe you should just show them a hamster. It's like, here's a hamster. You show me a hamster. A hamster taped to your crotch.
Ow, no.
That might be one of the better uses for the Vision camera, though. Just point it at your hamster cage while you're playing.
Yeah. And put a controller in front of it. Get like a rabbit with the rabbit's hands on the controller, and then just have that going on while you're owning somebody. That's awesome.
Or getting owned in, well, Murdock's case. Or
probably my case, too.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about, so here's a rabbit with a Wiimote on his head.
Yes. Here's a rabbit pony.
I did discover one thing when I played Halo 3 on Saturday night.
What's that?
Well, I was on this really, really shitty team, and at the end, the other guys on the team were like, wow, that team sucked, and then they mentioned that I was like the only good player on there, and I was like, no, I was the only mediocre player on a bad team.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'd be me. I mean, not the mediocre part. I'd be the bad team.
All by yourself.
All by myself.
You're like
I'd pull the whole team down on my own. Wait a minute, what?
You're like that one kid in the class that
Boba
brings
Fett.
the grade curve down.
Boba Fett, where?
I'm surprised that didn't turn into I'm here, where's Riggs?
Boba
Fett, where? I'm here, where's
Riggs?
Is that now the thing? Is that the cliche now for this show? I'm gonna
get that Halo. I'm gonna get an Xbox Live and just run around the board yelling, "I'm here, where's Riggs?"
You should make that your new gamer tag.
Yeah, I'm here, where's Riggs?
You got to see if it's available.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Yeah, there's a spot for a motto.
I'm here, where's Riggs?
What's Steve's gamer tag?
It's now Murtaugh.
Murtaugh. No,
I'm here. Where's Riggs?
No, you need to have.
No, that could be your motto on your gamer card.
Well, you need to have someone who's Riggs. Just work together as a team. I'm here. Where's Riggs? Where's Riggs? He got shot. That'd be awesome. And you should have like some kid just comments like, "Oh, I'm just learning how to play Halo 2 for the first time. Oh, it's my birthday today," and the guy gets shot.
No, the funny thing I noticed was when I was on Halo 3 Saturday night, over 1 million people were playing Halo 3, and 10,000 people were still logged into Halo 2. I was like, wow, those are 10,000 of the saddest, loneliest people.
They can't
have 10,000 of the people that are so good at Halo 2 they can't bear to move to Halo 3.
They got
like,
a different
if I move to
controller.
Halo 3, I'm gonna die.
It's like those Nintendo 64 diehards you were talking about, John.
Because if you go to Bungie.net, I was like checking out my Halo 2 stats or Halo 3 stats, and then it was like Halo 2 stats. I was like, I don't remember any of my Halo 2 stats. Let me take a look. And it didn't have any stats, but then it was like 10,000 players online. I'm like, wow, 10,000? Really?
They're all in Ethiopia.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, when your Halo 2 stats were probably 2 gamer tags ago.
Yeah, you're right about that. Fucking Microsoft.
Yep.
And the worst part is, I've talked to Microsoft about that 3 times, and they're like, oh, if nobody uses that gamer tag, it frees up after 6 months. Well, I've tried that, and guess what? It still says gamertag in use.
Yeah, I really liked the whole, we lost VaguelySpecific.com, and you can pay us $60 and we'll actually try and get it back for you. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, what if I try and register it and I get it immediately?
That really pisses me off. I will never, ever use GoDaddy ever again. I don't care if they do have hot Playboy models in their commercials.
Well, that's the sign
that... planning stage for future
that's
IT
a good
purchases.
sign of a register. Hot Playboy models.
Unless
Cisco routers uses lesbians.
Yes, powered by lesbians. Cisco powered by lesbians.
Cisco powered by nothing. Are we done?
I guess so.
All right.
I
It's
think we've been done
degenerated
for a while.
into
All right. Well,
John's
four grumpy men.
So John's gonna go downstairs and check his laundry now.
No, I'm not.
Were you done?
No, I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go to your room and steal a couple of DVDs.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. And you can't stop me
I can.
because I'm quick, like the wind.
You know why? Diplomatic immunity. I've been waiting for a way to get that in ever since the Where's Riggs.
You didn't say it right though. Diplomatic immunity.
Just been revoked. This is the stupidest line ever.
Yeah, but I was waiting for a good time to use it, and that was excellent.
Are you going to use it on a date at some point?
Yes.
Yes, I am. You can't do that to me. Yes, I can. What do you think you are? I am diplomatic immunity.
You should see if that gamer tag's available.
Manifestation of
You should see if that gamer tag's available, Steve.
Yeah, I have to figure out what that character's name was.
That will be that will be your excuse for copying a feel while she's It's like,
Diplomatic immunity.
diplomatic immunity.
Thank you for listening to Diehard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.